Hi, I'm Lee Brecheen, Louisiana Football TV magazine. We have a wonderful show tonight. We're opening up a segment called the Fan Segment. We've got Charles Squeaky Miranda, his son Cody Miranda. They own City Cafe in Baton Rouge, but he's a former coach. We're going to bring on someone every week to talk anything about sports. We also have Al Miller, one of the greatest strength coaches ever in the NFL. We've got a new book out, The System, that we're going to promote. We also have East Iberville's high school coach, Ron LeJeune, who's done a phenomenal job, 2 playoff victories. They've never had a playoff victory at East Iberville, and they're still in the second round. They'll be playing Del High in Monroe this Friday. We have much more. Recruits of the Week. We'll be right back.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows.
Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
Louisiana Office Solutions Company is the complete answer for all your office products and janitorial supply needs. From supplies for school or your home office, to styrofoam cups for your restaurant, to pallets of paper and cleaning supplies for your business. Choose from a large selection of furniture from chairs to desks for office or home, traditional and contemporary styles, or work with our design team to create a complete furniture layout for your building. So call or come by Louisiana Office Solutions Company on Florida at Lobdell, where everyone is welcome.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing.
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent Bill Barkus in Baton Rouge today.
Welcome back, Louisiana Football TV magazine. There's the preview issues. We put this on the show because if you live in a small town in Louisiana and you can't find the magazine, then this is our South magazine on the left, the North's on the right. Very proud of the North. We started 3 years ago so we could get more recruits on the cover. You know how it is with D1s in this state. We get over 110 every year, and you want to get them all on the cover. So between the two, and then we do our North Louisiana and South. And here's our website. Again, if you can't find it, go to our website and you can order it, or just call us and we'll make sure we can get you a copy somehow. LAFootballmagazine.com. The show goes statewide, and we're glad to be in Lake Charles again this year and all over the state. And before I recognize and introduce our first guest, I want to show off his book, Al Miller, who's in the Hall of Fame of strength coaches. But this is a book called The System, and this is a book that we're going to be talking about today. It's a book. This has got everything you want to know about weightlifting, and like Al Miller mentioned to me before the show, and we'll go over this. It's different toward what program you might have. You know, what high school team, what offense and defense you run, and how you want to train. But I read this book, and I'm going to tell you something. It's going to take you a few weeks to read it, and then still you got to go back and read it again and again. And But Al, thank you for joining us all the way from Monroe, Louisiana. And
glad to be here. Always a lot of fun.
And I told you, I said, look, when this book comes out, give me a call, and we want to promote it and educate the coaches and the state and the people. You don't have to be a coach to get this book, because this will give you the knowledge you need to train.
Right. Yeah. Matter of fact, that being said, there's been the startup of Jeremy Hall, who did the actual heavy lifting on this part, did the writing of it all. And he is now starting into something that's going to be for the older people, 30s, 40s, 50s, people, that weekend warriors kind of guys and gals that want to be able to continue train and don't know what to do, how to do, and they're reaching the stars and find a program,
The system, it's very unique. It involves going back to a lot of the knowledge, the Russians.
Yeah.
That you had mentioned, Al, that between you and Johnny Parker, your dear friend, former strength coach and football coach in the NFL, and Rob Perinella, who's one of your dear friends that had a lot to do with this book. I mean, you're talking about 118 years of NFL experience, weightlifting experience between these three. They're all Hall of Famers. I mean, NFL Hall of Fame strength coaches, guys. I mean, Tommy Moffitt's one of the great ones here in Baton Rouge at LSU.
Certainly is.
Gail Hatch has been training for years here, and then and Al, you said this goes all the way back to one of the founding fathers, to Alvin Roy from Baton Rouge.
Well, I think Alvin Roy, I can tell you, guarantee
he was.
He's the reason all of us had a job, and he started right here in Baton Rouge, and he's a legend, there's no doubt. But so many people, me included, Johnny, so many of us went to him for knowledge on what to do and so forth. And this is a lot of him is in that book, a lot of the things. What was working for him in the late 40s, 50s, and 60s, all the way up through, is still relevant and still in that book today.
When you were coaching and the strength coach, Al, of the Denver Broncos, you spent 19 years with Dan Reeves, and y'all were a part of 4 Super Bowls. Prior to all that, going to the beginning, in the book, it talks about Tom Landry, the late Tom Landry at the Dallas Cowboys. Tell everybody about, there wasn't even a weight coach when Tom Landry took the job for Dallas. They didn't even have a strength coach.
Coach Reeves did an admirable job, as he did in so many things and still does in his life, but he wrote a preempt to all of this, and and couldn't have found anybody better, and just so happened that he was my boss for all those years. But he was around. He told me he knew a lot about strength training, because he went and found Coach Landry, asked him to run the strength program, and Dan, about like most coaches back then, did not have an understanding of what to do with it all, and so consequently he was smart enough to go find the guy that did, and so Coach Roy spent a lot of time with him, gave him the knowledge that he needed to do to get him started, and answered a lot of questions for Dan, and then bingo, Coach Reeves told Coach Landry that you might need to hire this man, which they did.
And what's so great, and as a kid, I used to watch the Cowboys and the Steelers. I grew up a Steelers fan. And there was 2 Super Bowls with Dallas, as you know, Al, in Pittsburgh. Yeah. But I remember Dan Reeves playing for Tom Landry.
That's right.
That was one of his players.
Good football player. Good running back.
And
sure was.
What's remarkable with your career is the people that you were able to work with. Paul Bear Bryant being his strength coach at Alabama for 3 years.
Yep.
You said that was a very a man on the cutting edge.
Well, he was far ahead of a lot of people that in those days, and still in today's time. He was a unique individual. I've met no one like him before or since, and he was special. He had an understanding of things that were going to make us better, and that was the one thing that he did that he wanted to do better than anybody, is to be the very best.
The book is 383 pages. You know, it's so impressive in '85, and over the years you were able to work with Michael Vick, Phil Simms, John Elway. Anything that stick out about those guys?
A lot of
some great
stories.
players.
I don't know if we got enough time for all those stories, but boy, those are three of the great ones. You know, I think John Elway. You know, John never lifted weights, and I got there, and one of the things Coach Reeves told me is that I had to be able to, you know, convince him to be able to do something.
So at Stanford, he never picked up a weight.
No.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So when I came there, and one of the things, you know, Mike Shanahan was offensive coordinator at that time, and you know, so Mike and I got to be close friends, and he was trying to tell me about John as much as I could, and so I had a meeting with John, and lo and behold, I'll tell you what, it worked out to my advantage that finally I hit the nerve that convinced him, and boy, when he started, I mean, he had a long way to go, but my gosh, he got, yeah.
It's amazing he went all through Stanford without lifting weights. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have Squeaky Miranda and Cody Miranda. We're going to bring Al Miller back and keep talking about the system. It's a book you got to get on Amazon.com. It's going to be in the bookstores really soon, but go to Amazon and buy The System. It's a phenomenal book about strength and conditioning. We're going to talk about it throughout the show. We'll be right back.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing.
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent Bill Barkas in Baton Rouge today.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent David Bryan in Walker today.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows.
Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Welcome back. I want to thank Superior Grill. We've got gift certificates every show, and thank Bob Kershoff and his family. They've been with me for over 21 years with our magazine and the TV show, 13 with our TV show, and they have a new location on Highland Road. They have their Government Street. They're also in Shreveport and in Birmingham, Alabama. And go ahead and they have a Superior Steakhouse in Shreveport on Line Avenue. And also they have Superior Seafood on St. Charles Avenue. You know, that's a lot of restaurants. But I have another gentleman who knows a thing or two about restaurants. It's called City Cafe on O'Neill Lane, and it's originated in Plaquemine a long time ago by his dad. This is Squeaky Miranda. Squeaky, thanks for joining us. Your son, Cody.
Thanks for having us. It's very
I go to your restaurant quite often.
Yes, you do.
And
yes, you do.
I wanted to start a segment called the fan segment, but this is just not a fan. This is a gentleman that coached for a long time, high school basketball, was a football assistant too. You had days at Broadmoor High School when Billy Cannon Jr. was there. You were at St. John.
Right.
You were at E.D. White.
Right.
Tell everybody about what your biggest thrill is now that you're retired as a coach running a restaurant. What do you keep up with sports-wise? I know basketball.
Well, I keep up with everything. Football, of course,
Yeah.
I'm a football fan. Love basketball. I try to go as many basketball games as I can at LSU. I try to go to some high school games because I still love high school sports. I wish I had more time on Friday to go, but I still love high school.
What I like is when I go in a restaurant, I don't know if they just like to pick on me or what, but it's always a challenge, and I like the challenge of, hey, who's coming up? What recruit's coming up? Or Cody will say, are you going to watch a basketball game finally?
Yeah.
Right, Cody?
You know, Lee's always, you know, the football guy, so I'm trying my best to get him into the basketball environment as much as I can. So he's been to a couple games with us. Hopefully we get him out there a couple more this year.
So y'all season ticket holders,
Right.
Squeaky to
Yeah.
LSU.
Right.
Are you excited? I feel like you change when basketball season starts.
Well,
You get
yeah,
really
it's-
excited.
I love basketball,
Yeah.
and I think that this is going to be a special year. From what I can tell, Lee, LSU is really, really good, and we'll know more tonight. They play Memphis, and they're a fast-paced team. We'll see.
Penny Hardaway, former NBA player with Orlando Magic, and he's going to be recruiting really good from Memphis. But what do you think of Will Wade, Squeaky? What do you think of Will Wade, what he's done so far?
I think I've told you this. I think that Will Wade is the Nick Saban of basketball. Young, Coach Brown, about the same age as when Coach Brown came to LSU. He changed the whole culture of basketball in the state of Louisiana, not only in college but in high school. I mean, he sent out literature. He changed all of us as high school basketball players. We wasn't just assistant football coaches anymore. We became basketball coaches when Coach Brown came. And Will Wade I think he's just exceptional.
Squeaky, what did you enjoy most about high school coaching and basketball in high school? You coached many years.
Kids, just seeing them grow, watching how they changed, and just the fraternity of being with other coaches and all. Yeah.
What I like most about City Cafe is that I think it's always important to feel comfortable and want to go back and back. But when you go to City Cafe, and I say this from experience, there's a lot of former athletes, coaches that come in there to talk sports, that come in there to see you. Like Johnny Nagel that played at LSU, and Bob McCann, a lot of people that Kenny Guillant that coached at Parkview. And
yeah, we get a lot of ex-coaches. Some are still, Johnny's still coaching.
Yeah, right.
So we get some that you got to go back a long way. When I started in 1968, not a whole lot of those guys are still coaching.
Plus you get home cooking though, right?
That's yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
But it's on O'Neill Lane, and you know, if you're close to that area in Coursey and Jones Creek, you go stop in and tell you, if you meet Squeaky, he's never met a stranger, and then Cody's helps run the restaurant. Cody, what about the NBA this year? I know you're a big NBA fan, probably a little more than I am, but what do you think of NBA this year and the Pelicans?
I'm a big Pelicans fan, so yeah, we had to start off pretty hot, 4-0, and had some injuries, tough road trip, and lost, I think it was 6 in a row, but they've come back, had a big win last night versus Toronto, who had the best record in the NBA, so they're coming on. Hopefully we build upon the good playoff run last year, another good run this year.
Yeah, this guy keeps up with all the NBA scores every day. He keeps up with all of college basketball. What do you think of LeBron James being a Laker now? What do you think is going to happen there?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I wasn't happy about him coming out west. I'd like to see him stay east, but you know, they got a young team around him, so I don't know if they might be a couple years away, but we'll see what happens.
Squeaky, what do you think of Duke?
Oh, I think they're phenomenal. I mean, they have those three guys might go 1, 2, and 3 in the draft this year. They're phenomenal.
Is it like the Fab Five Michigan on that level?
Yeah,
probably?
they're good, Lee. I mean, when I saw them against Kentucky, who's supposed to really be good, I mean, they destroyed Kentucky. They're special, but we're special, Lee.
Yeah,
LSU is special.
LSU's got a chance.
Yeah.
They, I mean, this Naj Reid and their basketball team. I mean, Emmett Williams, Days, Marlon Taylor, Mays, Smart. I mean, usually in the past you say one guy. waters, right? Now you got 7 guys that could play. But any final thoughts about high school, college football, basketball? I mean, it's passion. It's Louisiana.
Well, it is, yeah. I think basketball in the state of Louisiana is really good. I mean, really good. And I think it's only going to get better. Coach, like Coach Wade, is just going to promote basketball in this state, and it's going to really take off more.
We'll go support these guys, too, at City Cafe. Squeaky's always there, and Cody's usually there running it, and go see these guys, Steven and Dirk and all the guys that are there. And we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have more with Coach Miller, and we're going to bring them back, too, Squeaky and also Cody. We'll be right back.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
Louisiana Office Solutions Company is the complete answer for all your office products and janitorial supply needs. From supplies for school or your home office, to styrofoam cups for your restaurant, to pallets of paper and cleaning supplies for your business. Choose from a large selection of furniture from chairs to desks for office or home, traditional and contemporary styles, or work with our design team to create a complete furniture layout for your building. So call or come by Louisiana Office Solutions Company on Florida at Lobdell, where everyone is welcome.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing.
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent Jim Crane in Baton Rouge today.
Okay, welcome back. I want to introduce Drew Dillio. I want to appreciate him supporting the show. Former Michigan Wolverine, former Parkview Baptist Eagle, was one of the great skill players to come out of Baton Rouge. In my all-time, if I had a top 10 skill guys, athlete, he was one of the top to ever come out of Baton Rouge. He was a highlight reel, and I know that's why Michigan took him way back. He's now a State Farm agent. Support him, young man, great kid, great guy. Calling him a kid, great young man now. On O'Neill Lane, not far from City Cafe. Go give him a call, see him, and let him take care of all your insurance needs. And we're back. Al Miller and Squeaky Miranda, and also Cody, his son Miranda, with City Cafe. But getting back to Al, we were talking about some of the strongest players that you were a part of. Sidney Thornton was one of them that comes to mind.
No doubt.
Northwestern State. Pittsburgh Steelers blocked for Bradshaw.
Yep. Joe Delaney, Barry Rubin was in there. So
Barry's going to be calling in next segment.
Yeah, all those guys like that. They in those days very strong.
Before we get to Squeaky, I'm going to ask Squeaky some questions too about his days coaching and maybe some more Cody at the NBA. But talk about the Russians and how they evolved and were the leaders of the weightlifting world forever. At one time in the 80s, and it's in the book, the United States only had 3,000 people qualified for the Olympics for weightlifting. They had 300,000. The Russians had 300,000.
Right after, in World War II, and listening to Mr. Roy talk about, he went over there, and he didn't go. He learned a lot being associated with them. They put all their eggs in the basket of building a dominant sports empire, and so they had a selective audience of who to choose from, and they got their kids started at a young age, and the way they trained them and everything. And that's the same way Mr. Roy started, you know, with a lot of his thoughts and the way that he went about things, and still holds true today. But so they had a captive audience, unlike America, which you can go any way you want to go.
We lost a legend this year with Billy Cannon Sr., who passed away, one of the great running backs, a Struma, Mississippi native, and I actually got to know Billy when he was back practicing on Goodwood Boulevard as an orthodontist, one of the best orthodontists in the state of Louisiana. And he used to tell me about Alvin Roy. I didn't even know who Alvin Roy was. This is back 25 years ago. But his son, Billy Cannon Jr., was one of the greatest football players to ever come out of Baton Rouge. And Squeaky, you saw that at Broadmoor. You were at Broadmoor.
Yeah. Well, you know, I got to Broadmoor when Billy was a sophomore, so I was coaching JV. Billy was too good to play JV. I never coached him.
Okay.
But I did coach him in basketball, and I'll tell you, he wasn't a skilled basketball player, but I can tell you, when you needed a rebound, Billy got it. And at the end of the game, he would have 12, 14 points on trash and all, and he would guard you. Billy was a winner, I'm going to tell you. He's the best athlete that I've ever coached.
6'5".
Pardon?
He was 6'5" in high school.
About 6'4", 210, and could run. And I'm talking about Lee hit a baseball. I've seen him hit baseballs, and they didn't get off the ground 15 feet. They got out of the park quick.
It was
he
amazing.
Was an incredible athlete.
Went in the first round of the Dallas Cowboys. It was unfortunate, had an injury early on, his rookie year. That ended his career. I know he would have played 15 years.
No doubt.
He was a linebacker at 250 then, running a 4.5.
Yeah.
Back then, that was incredible back in the 80s. And that was when Tom Landry was still the coach for the Dallas Cowboys. But Al, the book, The System, just got it finished. I got my copy in the mail. I appreciate you sending me this 3 weeks ago. And I'm going to tell you, I'm still reading the final 15, 20 pages. I mean, it's broken down to every angle that you want to know, that to be educated on anything with training the right way, whether you're in college, whether you're a coach, whether you're just an adult that wants to learn about training. But this book's incredible. Well,
it encompasses the three of us, and you know there are others in there. Al Vermeil was a big part of it. He just didn't want to get involved with it. Don Chu with the plyometrics was a big part of it. But the five of us collaborated on this deal, and it tells you the sequential way to be able to take kids and bring them to their full realization of what they can be as an athlete.
Our next segment, we're going to have Barry Rubin call in from the Green Bay Packers, the strength coach.
He's from Kansas City now.
I don't know why I keep saying Green Bay, but Kansas City. And look, Patrick Mahomes, what a great place to be right now, Kansas City, and their great offense. They've got so many great skill players. John David Moore is a part of that, Ruston High School. He's on the injured reserve. Ware, the running back from LSU. And also Darrell Williams, the rookie from LSU, is a part of that offense. He's caught about 15 passes as a backup. But before we go, we let Cody and Squeaky go, Miranda, Cody, any final thoughts on NBA, man? Who's going to win the NBA championship this year?
Well, I think the Warriors are the favorite until somebody knocks them off. But
you think Golden State will win it again?
There's a good chance. But there's some good teams out there this year. Like I said, the Raptors are good. I think the West is about 10, 11 deep. So they'll have to definitely work for it to win it again this year.
Squeaky, who are the two teams to beat in college basketball right now, in your opinion, right now?
Right now.
Duke
and can I say LSU? But Kansas, I think Duke and Kansas. Well, again, I hope LSU can compete this year.
Squeaky makes all the SEC tournament basketball games. It's a tradition. him and his family, and I think it'll be a record amount of fans this year from LSU. Kentucky always dominates that, right?
Yeah, they take over an arena. I told Will Wade that I want to see us beat Kentucky in Nashville in front of that Kentucky crowd.
Guys, thanks for joining us, and be sure to support City Cafe, a great restaurant, home cooking. It's where friends meet, their slogan. It's a great place to go. We'll be right back with more with Al Miller. Barry Rubin's calling in from the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll be right back.
Louisiana Office Solutions Company is the complete answer for all your office products and janitorial supply needs. From supplies for school or your home office, to styrofoam cups for your restaurant, to pallets of paper and cleaning supplies for your business. Choose from a large selection of furniture from chairs to desks for office or home, traditional and contemporary styles, or work with our design team to create a complete furniture layout for your building. So call or come by Louisiana Office Solutions Company on Florida at Lobdell, where everyone is welcome.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed? Mm-hmm. That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent David Wilcox in Gonzales today.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Welcome back, Lee Brecheen, Louisiana Football TV magazine. We're back. We've got more with Al Miller. We're very honored, Al, to come down from Monroe, where he lives. Hall of Fame strength coach, 19 years just with Denver, just with Dan Reeves, and came out of retirement, went back to the NFL. A second time they pulled you out of retirement, Al. What was that like? You said, well, I'm done, and then?
First time I had to retire because of my wife. She had Alzheimer's, and I had to take care of her. And after that, then a good friend of mine, Dennis Allen's a defensive coordinator now with the Saints, and was a assistant coach at Atlanta. Got the head job. We were down. I went down to interview with Denver again. They had a job opening. John Elway called me, and we were out at Winchell's eating. And Dennis got the call to get the head job and offered me the job. And
back in the saddle again.
Yeah, there it goes.
Coach, we've got someone that you know very well on the phone, Coach Barry Rubin. Barry, thanks for joining us.
Oh, you bet. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Congratulations on the season you're having, by the way, with Kansas City Chiefs. And
well, thank you. I just hope we can keep it going.
Al here is talking about the great book, The System, they just came out with, Barry, and what a great book it is, The System, and all the years of him and Johnny Parker and Rob Perinelli. And what do you think of the accomplishment and our guy here, Al Miller?
You know what, Coach Miller, this is my opinion. To me, he is the best strength coach in the country, without a doubt. And he's also the best motivator that I've ever been around. And he's one of the finest human beings also that I've ever been around. So that's a hard combination to beat. And the book is phenomenal. It's a great book. The things that I've really enjoyed, I've read about half of it, but it's so well organized. And I think the biggest thing that is so good about it, that you only advance to the next stage when you're ready. So it is really outstandingly done, and it's just done in progression. And that's how life is. You're 5 before you're 10. You crawl before you walk. You walk before you run. And this is the way that book is. It's just you do your work capacity first, and then you go into a little hypertrophy, and then some strength and power and speed. It's done perfect, and you don't move to the next stage until you're ready.
Coach Rubin, I know that you were at LSU. We're at the shows in Baton Rouge today, and this goes statewide, but you spent some time at LSU back in the day. I know our viewing audience would love to hear that, the LSU Tigers.
I sure did, and I loved it there. What a great place. I was there in the mid-'80s with Bill Arnsbarger, and he was a great man. And, had Pete Jenkins there. He's a legend in Baton Rouge and LSU, and some wonderful players. We had some good teams there, and really, really enjoyed my time there.
And currently the Chiefs have technically 3 LSU players on the team: John David Moore, Darrell Williams, and also Ware, the running back from LSU. Those Tigers are doing well with the Chiefs.
They got a lot of players in the NFL. Yeah. I think them and Alabama are the 2 top teams that have players in the NFL, and those 3 are great guys, and they all 3 work hard. They're all 3 good weightlifters. Because of Coach Moffitt there at LSU does a wonderful job. So, yes, I've really enjoyed those guys, and they're doing an outstanding job here with the Chiefs.
Barry, me and Al were talking about the inventor, Alvin Roy, Baton Rouge native, that started this whole puzzle of guys learning from Alvin Roy, and it's just amazing where things have gone from now to, and we're talking about the Russians and what they did back in the start. But the United States have come a long way with lifting and strength and conditioning.
It sure has. Alvin Roy, matter of fact, I've read his old book that he had, and it was, he had some great he was on the right track, and just people like Coach Miller has just taken it a step further, so, but he was definitely on the right track, absolutely.
Barry, looking back on some of the things that Coach Roy had instituted with us all, and to me, you were the first recipient on a lot of these things right there. Can you tell me, did it help you as an athlete, because you were a very exceptional athlete?
Yes, sir. It sure did, Coach. I really enjoyed all those the lifts that he had come out with, and in the book, it's got all the correct lifts to do, and it sure has helped me.
And Barry, one question I'd have, and a lot of people would be curious. I got a note from a fan, but lifting during the season for the NFL players currently, that's something that obviously delicate, careful thing to do because you guys are playing every week, but guys do lift during the season, right? They still lift.
Oh, absolutely. If we would go downhill fast if we didn't. Yeah. So it's a big part of it. And the great thing is, our head coach Andy Reid, he played college football at Brigham Young, and he was a big lifter when he played, so he knows the importance of it. So he supports us real good and gives us ample time to train these guys, and so it is really very important to keep it going.
And Coach, one thing I want to tell you, just watching as a viewer, the ability, the speed on this Chiefs team, you've got to be commended for their agility, the way these guys run, Tyreek Hill and these guys, they're so smooth and nobody's stiff. So I got to give you a shout out as being the strength and conditioning coach.
Chase, I have to say, they make any coach look good. That guy, that
Hill, make a lot of them look good.
He sure would, Coach. I tell you what, if Hill wasn't playing in the NFL, he'd be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
He's got to be the fastest or one of the fastest players in the NFL. He is, and is a strong little guy. Yeah. He is a bull. He can squat and clean, but he does a great job. He's one of my favorites on the team.
And Barry, good luck. Hope y'all win the Super Bowl with the young quarterback Mahomes. Good luck. Thank you for being on the show today.
Oh, you bet. I sure enjoyed it, and I tell you what, the book's awesome, and so is Coach Miller. And thank you for having me.
Thank you, Barry. I appreciate you, boy.
Yeah,
yes,
that
sir.
was
Thank you,
Barry Rubin with the Kansas City Chiefs. I said Green Bay earlier because he was with Green Bay way back.
He was with Green Bay for a lot of years.
It just stuck in my head. But, yeah, he's with the Chiefs, and what a place to be this year. We'll be right back. We've got more with Al Miller. We've got Ron LeJeune coming on from East Iberville High School. We got our Recruits of the Week still. We'll be right back.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent David Wilcox in Gonzales today.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
Welcome back, Lee Brecheen. I want to thank Dr. Ryder, the Ryder Clinic. His name is Kelly Ryder. He went to Penn State University on the cutting edge. He's really good with not only concussions, if athletes have concussions, but he's on the cutting edge with everything. He's from Abbeville, Louisiana. He's on Perkins Road across from the Pennington Center. But half the Dallas Cowboys team almost comes down to see him. That's how, and he works with the Cincinnati Bengals. He works with a lot of other teams in the NFL. Al, he's really a great guy, but he sponsors our Recruit of the Week every week. But we're going to go ahead and go to our recruits. We've got two great young men that we're going to promote. We do a South and a North every week. We're going to go ahead and put up our first one. This is our North Louisiana. Here's a kid that I found not ranked. This is just from film work. Cade Foster, 6'3", 290, but he's got good feet, Coach. He gets low to the ground. He will engage. He will pancake. he's not just going to stand up and move around and look lost. But I think he's more of a center than he is a tackle, but he plays where they need him in high school. But the O-line average is about 310, and this is not a team full of recruits. But they power, they run 99% of the time, and they do a great job because they've got this kid, and they have another kid who's going to walk on LSU as a fullback that's going to get his weight down and be about 260. But this kid's tough, and he's got a great future. Let's go to our South Louisiana recruit of the week. This is a kid I saw in person, Tyja Spears from Ponchatoula. He's got what I call great vision, and he's got that wiggle in his hips when he hits a hole. This is him here. Look at him. He can turn those hips and not stop, and he accelerates, and he just outruns everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, he's got a little something to him, as they say. He's got the it factor, and he knows when to hit the hole. This is his hands. And look, when he gets outside, he becomes a sprinter. And he's 5'10", about 180. He runs bigger. That's what I like about him. He doesn't mind taking on contact. He follows his blockers. Look at that cut.
How big is he?
5'10". But he's long. He's got long legs, long arms. Mm-hmm. Look at this run here. He knows when to hit the hole. He can cut. Look at that little cut to the left.
He bounced off of him too.
Great hips. This kid's got almost 1,800 yards. They didn't even make the playoffs. They only won 3 games. And he's a phenomenal player. No, one D1 offer. In Tulane, I'm trying to see if Tulane, I mean, he's only an hour from Tulane, and this would be a great back. Hey, Matt Forte was a sleeper they signed way back from Slidell High School, and Matt ended up having a great career with the Chicago Bears, Coach.
Yep.
And without waiting any longer, we're talking high school football, and we've got one of the best coaches in the state joining us with me and Al Miller, Ron LeJeune. Ron, thank you for coming from East Iberville High School.
Thanks for having
me. They
me.
let you out of school, Coach?
Oh, yeah. Well, got to get back to practice a little later.
Your son's been with me for 3.5 years as an intern, has worked his way up, Jace, and does a great job. But you have done a phenomenal job with a school that had no playoff victories before you got there. And years ago, you were on the playoff team that lost. You come back, you win a playoff game last year. You win one this year. Y'all going into the second round, and you're going to play Dale High.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
And the job you've done is amazing over there. I mean, you've got kids that, I mean, a lot of these kids, some of them you even have to get them home. You know, they don't have cars. Some of them don't have parents and stuff. But you have become the big-time guy over there. I mean, it's like, man, every week you win another game. In the past, I remember the school being 0-10 for several years.
Well, I can't take all the credit. We've got a really good coaching staff. Gary Burnett leads our defense along with Clark Nosentelli and Eddie Pleasant. And those guys, I mean, I don't have to worry about anything on defense. I mean, they're really good defensive coaches. On the offensive side of the ball, I have Solomon Lee and Justin Joseph, who really helped me on offense.
Solomon played at LSU.
Solomon played at LSU.
From Bastrop, Louisiana.
Yep. But, you know, and we try to have fun with the kids, and we get them just being unselfish, you know, blocking for each other, tackling for each other. And I think that's been the key to our success.
But Ron, the big thing is that I know the hardest thing I've seen in high school football is that when a program's not used to going to the playoffs, the stage is too big. And yet you've got these kids believing. Last year they won a playoff game. And this is the second year they're in the playoffs. And they're not used to going to the playoffs. And yet y'all are beating programs that are used to going. Like, this is normal for them. And you beat Arcadia your team, your staff. Arcadia had a 3,000-yard rusher, Corey Russell.
That guy was good.
3,000-yard rusher.
He's got 7,000-something yards in his career.
Arcadia High School, yeah.
9th grade year. And, you know, like I said, our defensive coaches, we made some adjustments at halftime, and we really harnessed him, you know, the second half, you know. And so, you know, I mean, just hats off to our coaches and our players. And and the community.
Well, you're doing a great job, and just to be in position to go in the second round, going to Dale High is quite an accomplishment. Al, this is a Cinderella story.
This is a rematch from first round last year. Yeah, so it should be a good game.
Whenever you take a program that is not one and change the whole traditional deal about it and build tradition, it's the hardest thing in sports to do.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about East Iberville. We're going to talk more about the system, the book that Al Miller and all the guys put together. We're going to talk more about that. Go to Amazon.com to get it. We're going to talk more about high school football, the NFL. You're watching Louisiana Football TV magazine. We'll be right back.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing.
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent Bill Barkus in Baton Rouge today.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
I want to promote the book, The System. Al Miller's here from Monroe, Louisiana. Hall of Fame strength coach, Broncos and many teams. You got to get this book. I mean, this is what we're talking about today, and this book has everything in here for anybody to learn how to do it the right way, strength and conditioning. I mean, this is over 115 years of experience among 3 gentlemen, and Al's here to talk about that. And go to Amazon.com right now to get it. That's where you can order it. Amazon.com. It'll be in bookstores later on in the year. And Al, talking to Ron here and getting a little more information. I want to talk a little more to Ron. Ron, your quarterback is also on defense, which is not always something you want to do, but you have to.
Yeah,
and your center is your linebacker.
Single A football.
Right, you gotta do that.
We have about 5 or 6 guys that do go both ways, and we try to spell them. You know, and our quarterback, we put him on the other team's best receiver usually, and my starting running backs also play in the secondary. Our center plays linebacker.
Now, how many of them play punt, kick team?
Oh, they own everything. They own everything.
Now, people, did y'all just hear that? That is amazing.
They own everything.
No rest.
Yep.
And you said you only have 4 seniors, though. That's promising.
I only have 4 seniors. A center quarterback, one of our wing backs, and one of our 170-pound defensive linemen.
Who's a corner size.
Yep, he's quick. He's quick off the ball.
Maybe call Al when the season's over. You get Al over there to help you. Ron, what have you learned about all this weightlifting with Al being on? What have you? I mean, you've been sitting and watching.
I want to get the book. I mean, I'm a firm believer in the weight room. Firm believer in the weight room. You know, all those plays work a lot better when you're bigger, faster, and stronger. You know.
You said they got it when you first got there. Y'all got a sled. You said there was no one big enough to move it, right?
Yeah, we got a sled from Plaquemine, and you know, we started hitting it, and we really couldn't move it. So, you know,
come a long way, man.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of Baton Rouge football this year? No, Plaquemine lost last week, where you were for a long time.
Yeah. Hate to see that with those. They do a good job.
St. Michael's overachieved, had a great year. They lost.
Yep, they sure did.
And Central was close with Alexandria High School.
Right, right.
But this week you got a great battle. You got Ash High School and Ruston, which is a rematch. Ruston beat them during the regular season. A lot of great games this week. And Ron, y'all got to travel to Monroe where Al lives. You got to go to Monroe to play.
Yeah, we. That's going to be the big part of it. We got to know how to handle that and take that long bus ride over there, and you know, we're working on plans for that right now. But it was a really close game with us and Delhi last year. It was 46-38, and we were very fortunate to win the game last year. And both teams have basically the same team back.
A track meet again.
So
probably.
We'll see. We'll see.
Al, thank you for joining us. Ron, thank you. We're going to keep promoting the book, The System, on our website. I'll get with you later on that on how you want to do that. And good luck. I know a lot of hard work in this, and I know it's going to pay off for you. And
hope so.
And
it pays off for a lot of coaches and kids.
Enjoyed having Coach Rubin up from Kansas City, and Squeaky and Cody Miranda, City Cafe. We'll see you all week long. You're watching Louisiana Football TV magazine. Check us out all week on YourView. You're watching our show. It'll be broadcast over and over again all week.